morning everyone. In today's video I will be speaking about the so-called third wave of coronavirus infections, as the South African government has mentioned, as well as governments from around the world. Now in this graph over here, which is my own replica of this graph down here, I will leave a link to this as well as links to anything that I mentioned in this video. The reported rates for COVID-19 reported infections from March 2020 till February 2021 shows an upward trajectory for COVID-19 infections. This might be misleading, but you as a data analyst, you measure trends over different periods. It could be 7 days, it could be 12 months, it could be 4 months. So for example, from July up until December, the trend line will show a downward trajectory. Now what I find interesting is this stabilization rate over here from September, October and November. Now to the untrained eye, this might give you the appearance that South Africa at that point in time was winning the battle against COVID-19. However, the stabilization rate here happened under level 1 lockdown, and what you would have liked to have seen is a further sharp decrease from September compared to August and from November relative to September, but that never happened, and the result is that a ticking time bomb was waiting, and an increase in December happened, and we went into a higher lockdown from the end of December 2020, and then the so-called second wave happened in January, where many more people were infected and many people unfortunately lost their lives. Following the successful level 3 lockdown, a very sharp decrease happened in February. Now what we would not like to see is for the periods of February, March and April to stabilize, because a stabilized factor under level 1 is never a good idea. As you can see, the trend that happened under September, October, November, we would like to see a further decrease from March relative to February and a further decrease from April compared to March. This will give us a better idea as to whether we as a country are actually winning this battle against COVID-19. But this is solely dependent on our behavior. The problem lies in March. Towards the end of March we have a long weekend coming up, which means much more social interaction, and at the start of April we have the Easter period, which is a 4-day long weekend, which gives us even more time to interact socially, and we also have the possibility of a third long weekend towards the end of April on the 26th and 27th. Many people might put in leave on the 26th of April and create another long weekend there. So to avoid this possible third wave from happening, even though as a data analyst we don't speak about waves, we actually speak about trends. So in order to break this trend, this COVID-19 disaster trend, we need to continue to monitor our own behavior, because this so-called wave, as the government puts it at, is solely dependent on government's response to COVID-19 infection cases, as well as our own behavior as citizens, not only as citizens of the country but as citizens of the world. It's actually entirely in our hands to break this COVID-19 third wave from happening. Now, should you or your firm require data analysis before you make any decisions, my contact details are right there. You can send me an email and I promise to give you a solution with a very affordable price. Thank you very much for listening.